Krampus is a darkly festive tale with an 80s horror aesthetic. This ancient evil is brought to life through a balance of practical puppets, props, and makeup, complemented by digital visual effects and an all-CG animated flashback sequence. Once the evil is unleashed, it is the creatures who take center stage. The cherub is the embodiment of the 80s horror aesthetic. An old doll was stripped for parts and made monstrous with lots of sculpted elements. While traditional rod puppetry was used for the arms and flying motion, the eyes, mouth, and wings were servo-controlled. Teddy was custom fabricated, right down to the mouth of beastly fangs cast out in silicone. Expressions were hand-controlled from behind the head, and the rest was traditional rod puppetry, with up to 4 puppeteers acting out complex movements. There was also a stunt Teddy used for the destructive shots. For the clown, 3 different heads were sculpted, one with a yapping servo-controlled jaw, another with the mouth fully extended, and a third stunt head. 3 puppeteers controlled the arms, body, and the contents of the stomach from inside the creature. A rig attached the 3D printed killer robot to the unlucky actor's back. Motion was a mix of simple cable pull stabbing action and animatronic elements. The dynamic action of the marauding gingerbread men was handled digitally to maximize the frenetic energy of the sequence. Simple candy features were exaggerated and distorted into hero expressions of shock and rage to help animate the Stooges-inspired trio. Bringing Krampus to life required both digital and practical effects. A complete and fully mobile character was created with a gruesome mask sculpted and cast out in silicone. Long foam latex hands and fingers were created along with extension mechanisms. Inside Krampus, a puppeteer in dog-leg stilts controlled facial and arm movements, looking out at the world via a video screen. CG was used to animate his tongue, and a fully digital Krampus was built for some of the bigger action shots. We combined scans of the practical Krampus to help with the cloth simulations and overall shape, and combined these with a digital creature build underneath. His slightly deformed shape and hooved goat legs made for a distinctive gait that drove the animation, particularly as he jumped from house to house. Fully digital establishing shots, 2.5D set extensions, and traditional matte paintings were used to broaden the palette of the film and make it feel bigger. But even the full CG shots were driven by a practical aesthetic. For example, the large digital cloud shot was made to look like a practical cloud tank style effect. Digital houses were added to shots to extend the neighborhood and give it a slightly demented John Hughes feel. Digital atmospheric conditions such as mist, fog, and snow were added to supplement practical on-set effects and create more complex blizzard-like conditions, helping obscure Krampus in the wide shots. From the beginning, director Michael Dougherty wanted an animated flashback sequence to depict Omi's childhood encounter with Krampus. To achieve this, we created a stylized cardboard cutout look where elements of the concept paintings were put on cards to create the look of a handcrafted stop-motion miniature. Even the snow simulations were achieved with hand-painted individual snowflakes, animated by hand and processed to mimic an Oxberry-style optical composite. The characters in the sequence are all cardboard cutout shadow puppets, done in faceless silhouette, with the exception of Omi herself. She was created as a fully formed 3D character, with the imperfections of a hand-posed stop-motion puppet. Even the cloth of her dress moves with a snappy motion that looks distinctly non-CG. This approach helped us keep her character's emotions front and center during this pivotal moment.